Welcome to Autographers Anonymous, a place where we discuss our addiction to the greatest hobby in the world. Let's go around the room.
What's up, guys? It's Mike from the Autograph Network, aka The Godfather, and the show is late because of me. Meow! Inside joke. Next.
Hi, this is Chase from Chase and Inc. And early Happy Father's Day to all you dads out there. And if you're not a dad, you have one at one time at least. So Happy Father's Day to them.
How you doing? This is Andy Summers, and I'm the one that taught the Godfather everything he knows about international stamps.
And I'm Zane Savage in Golden State in 7. All right, let's start off with our new returns, and we'll start with Mikey.
All right. I'll part this down, but I had a pretty awesome week. Got some good stuff in. Show these. Bas Rutten. He's a UFC Hall of Famer. He ended up sending me 5 promos for Autographs for a Cure. You can check him out, www.basrutten.com. El Guapo. So that was a nice return from him. Purchase. Nice book. You will appreciate this, Mr. Savage. Joe Willie Namath.
Show the signature because there's some auto pinned. Oh, no, you're good.
Yep.
You're good.
So got that at a really good price, making a nice cut autograph because you guys know I don't like my books. So
just so everybody know, send it my way. I'll do it for you. So just so everybody knows, that book, there is a suspected auto pen version of it. So be careful when you buy that book. Joe Namath's new book.
Yep. All right. Some pretty cool returns. I tried Joey Tempest, who is the lead singer from the group Europe. You guys will probably know. It's the Final Countdown, their big hit. Did not sign my photo, but I did get a nice group sign picture from the entire group, Europe. Very cool return overseas, international stamps. Thank you, Mr. Summers, for teaching me everything I know. This is Queen guitarist Billy May. So pretty awesome. I love this shot. This is I think it was Live Aid, Wembley Stadium. Just a mass amount of people, but somebody like from Queen that's signing, get them.
Any of that going up on your Autographs for a Cure?
Yeah, maybe.
Let me know if it does.
Okay. We'll talk offline. How's that? You guys know I'm a huge wrestling fan. We've seen her in person when she was with Impact Wrestling. She's now with WWE NXT. This is her real name is Chelsea Green. In Impact, she was Laurel Von Ness. Ding.
Is that double signed, or she tried to sign twice or something?
She signed in a silver and then went over it with the blue, which actually looks pretty cool. If you guys can see that.
Go closer.
Oh, there we go. Signature there.
Yeah.
There you go, Mr. Summers.
Well, no, I meant the autograph.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
No.
She did All In, the AEW. That was a great women's match. So signed that one. This was via venue, and I think the address is about to run out, but this is Pablo Pascal. He's going to play the Mandalorian in the new Star Wars TV series. That's going to be on Disney Plus, the new streaming series. So got him in advance before he blows up. He was in Game of Thrones and something else. He's in King Lear on Broadway. Nice Hall of Fame return. Dick LeBeau sent a bunch of stuff for Autographs for a Cure. He's Football Hall of Fame. Signed my photos, but I thought this was really cool. He sent this as a Panini card, but if you look right above my finger, it says Personal Edition. So pretty cool. I'm sure Panini gives them a stack of cards to give out to friends and family. So Dick LeBeau, Personal Edition. Signed a bunch of photos. Astronauts, same thing. Got a bunch of them in. Try and get a space shot, shuttle launch, and an official portrait. I won't go through them all. Skip through some of these. Pretty cool return. Signed 2 of 3. Former Mayor Rudolph Giuliani on the cover of Time. And, I'm the least political person probably on social media. I don't do politics, but, he played a big part in 9/11. So thanks for that. Sticking with politics, which I'm not a fan of. But again, this is a history turn. This is former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. And if you don't know anything,
controversial.
Oh yeah, if you don't know anything about his story, Google it.
Did you write to a prison?
No, he's out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he is a convicted felon. The way I described it on my YouTube video is, I'm like, it's pretty much cloak and dagger type stuff. Russian spies, but he signed 4. Hall of Fame, Leo Bovin, former Bruin. There you go, Andy.
Oh, tomorrow night.
Bruins in 7? No,
Yep.
Blues. Signed 3. Hall of Fame inscription, which is nice. This one's been out a while, but I'm glad to get it back. Country music legend George Strait.
Yeah, he's always been a good signer, and he's like 50 number 1 songs on the charts,
yeah.
I think, something like that. That's
And
crazy.
Surprisingly, Pure Country was a good movie. Take that. Signed 3, inscribed them all, which is fine. Signed in silver, beautifully. Hall of Famer Dick Duff, another hockey Hall of Famer. Again, anytime you guys see Hall of Famers pop up on Star Tiger or anywhere else, social medias, take advantage of it. They're the best of the best. And send a couple for autographs for a cure, like an art card. And the last one.
I'm sorry, hockey black and white pitches look awesome.
Oh yeah,
Like
I got to show this one. This is why I love doing photos. He's getting in a fight in the penalty box, and the penalty box looks like a cage. I mean, that's classic. Not wearing helmets, classic hockey. But I love the black and white stuff. That's great.
So would that be considered a cage match?
Pretty much. Last one I'll show is a big one for me. If you guys have followed me on YouTube, you guys have known that I've been working on the 1980 U.S. men's hockey team, the Miracle on Ice team. I was down to 3 guys that I needed to sign. I am now down to 2.
You finally got Mike Ruzioni.
Close. Mark Johnson signed 1, which I send the same 2 photos, and I have 98% of the team on this photo now. So I just need 2 more guys to sign this photo, and I would have every living member of the USA Olympic hockey team from 1980. So they're toughies. They don't like signing, but I've done pretty well on that project. So that will pretty much wrap it up. I got a huge stack of Hall of Famer autographs, football that I bought as a lot. If you guys want to see that, it's on the YouTube video. You guys can check that out, but we'll throw it over to Chase.
All right. Before I get started, I think it was the last video or last podcast we had. I got some returns back from Frank Lucchese, and I had showed that his health was failing and they were really bad. Well, Sunday he did pass away. So if you have anything out right now, it's probably not going to come back, or you don't send them for sure.
So you got one of the last signatures.
Yeah, I'm not going to say I got the last one, but I haven't seen any other ones pop up yet. So we'll see. And then I want to give a big shout out to a fellow co-host, Ben Martinez, who got me some IPs. He went to the Texas Rangers AAA team game. Got a couple Gino Petralis, who was one of their coaches. Actually, there was a third one. And then Howard Johnson.
Hojo.
And then a few other minor league guys that nobody's heard of yet.
Hey Chase, real quick, the Howard Johnson, can you show that again? He changed his autograph. He used to do the Hojo. Does he still do that?
Maybe. It's hard. Here, I'll just show one of this. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, no, not even close. Like back in the day when he was signing, it used to say like Howard Hojo Johnson, and we talked. Okay, yeah, we talked a little bit offline about people changing their signature. That's a prime example of that.
Yeah, that's in person. So
I'm gonna show one in a second that I sent off to a private signing actually.
Oh, nice.
And then I'm going to show this one, but I got if you go to my YouTube channel, I got a story about this one. Mr. Lenny Harris, who is not a very nice guy and does not sign TTM, but a good friend over the Card Dreamer on YouTube got that for me. And if you watch, thanks again. Let's see, a couple this one's spring training coming back in from Yolmar Sanchez.
Almost looks like A-Rod's signature.
Yeah, still getting some spring trainings in. I got 4 of 3 from Doug Jones. He added his extra little Bible verse card that he throws in there. You got
PTL.
what's that?
He always puts the PTL
Oh
on.
yeah.
Praise the Lord.
I actually get people asking me what is PTL a lot, so I was like, I thought it was kind of obvious, but you got Garth. I guess that's Jorg. I don't know, how do you pronounce that?
Eorg is what I would say too.
Yeah, got 4 from him. Let's see, you got Frank DePino on 82. And then we got
now you got to complete it.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. We'll see.
We all have that itch in us. It's like, okay,
Oh, no,
I got a
if they
multiplayer card
somehow-
signed. Now I got to complete it.
Yeah, I've got some that are complete. I got another one that's a good signer. That's from the old days, Claude Olstein.
Yep, I've got him before.
Yeah, I got 4 from him.
Man, he's got to be up there in age.
Oh yeah, let's see.
Signature looks real clean though.
Yeah.
Born in 39, so
He's
yeah,
not too
80.
bad. Yeah.
that's the other one. Let's see. Got 4 from Bob Tewksbury. And then this one's pretty cool, I thought. Sent off 2 cards. He sent me an extra from the famous chicken. There's that's a 1982 Donruss card from the
That's
set.
a sexy photo I took there.
And then he sent me the 83 card. And I also sent off the I think this is 2018. That's all the cards. I got a couple photos. If anybody's a fan of a series of unfortunate events, got Ali Usman, or Ali, I guess, who's the hooked man. And then Katana Turnbull, who's Carmelita Splats. And then via venue, Mr. John Lithgow. There's 1. Harry Henderson Love, 2.
I just sent Harry in the hand to send cards to him too.
And 3. So that's all I've got.
Good return. John Snyder, just a heads up. John Snyder said it's pronounced org.
Org? Okay.
I is silent. So go ahead, Andy.
All right, so let's go over a couple quick ones here. Umpires. I've been sending off to a bunch because I bought a bunch of umpire brushes. I bought Franklin Sports is down the street from me, so I buy
That's
them
really cool, actually. Yeah.
for like $1. So I add the years that there were umpires. So this is Dale Scott from 86 to 2017. Dale Ford on that one. And I really wanted this one, Joe Brickman, because he was an umpire for 33 years and did about 4,500 games. So I don't know if he would be the next Doug Harvey to be in the Hall of Fame as an umpire. So I wanted to grab him then. Here's that Howard Johnson. Here's the interesting thing about the duel with Sandberg and Johnson. I sent this to Sandberg and he signed it, I think, for like $7. Howard Johnson was 12 at a private signing. Found it a little weird on that one, but
did he add Hojo to the private signing?
You know what? No, just his uniform number.
I bet they charged more for that or something.
You know what? I didn't even think of it, so I didn't even look.
Yeah, I bet that's why he stopped doing it, because I bet he started getting paid to add it.
Probably, yeah. All right, this one's starting to get a little shaky. Whitey Herzog sent off with the $10 donation, but he is definitely getting a little shaky there. All right. Next, I got a book in, and I looked at the signature on it, so I was a little iffy on it. So I went to Star Tiger, and according to some guy that looks like Obi-Wan with a beard with a lightsaber in his hand, it's legit. I don't know who this guy is, but he seems to have posted a bunch of Jimmy Buffett autographs. So it came back looking like that. That was a private address that I found, but then I looked later and everyone was getting RTS about 8 years ago from that same address.
Right.
So apparently it works now. Don't know.
The signatures that guy posted that has the Star Wars photo.
Yeah.
Those signatures were from probably 20 years ago.
Oh, you seem very knowledgeable about this individual.
I'm on Star Tiger a lot.
Yeah, and that window that was open for him at that address, you just closed it. Thank you.
I got him. What else? All right. Just a couple quick cards. UFC, Randy Couture. On that one. This guy I sent you, this guy's going to be a really good player, so I wanted to get him. Christian Walker for the Diamondbacks. Right there. Next, USA Olympian Simone Baez. Signed 1 of 1.
Isn't she the most decorated Olympian at this point?
She is, yes. Which I was actually surprised I came back. And this guy, I snuck these in. I saw everyone was getting them. So I had to grab them. And right when I got him back, he was getting RTSs marked out of the country. And that's AC/DC singer Brian Johnson.
Nice. It's a good return.
He actually signed 4 of them, all personalized. But it was like the day after I got these, I saw the RTSs. And this one.
Your letter threw him over the edge. He's like, I'm not signing after I sign for this.
Yeah. So I tried this guy for years, could never get him. And I finally got him, and he replaced the one card I needed for my set with a different card. It's Jim Abbott. I sent to him all over the place. I needed the 92 tops, and he replaced it with the 2012 lookalike.
Gosh.
Like a reprint of that card. But I'm looking at it going, wow, this thing's really glossy. It doesn't look right. And yeah, of course. So for years of trying, he replaced my card. And one last one, soccer success. I just find amusing. It's goalkeeper Joe Cannon signed this one, but I'm just laughing because the envelope came completely ripped, taped up, and I was like, "What happened to this?" And it said the letter on the back. Sorry, my 5-year-old tried to open it. so it's not the post office. It was his 5-year-old.
That's awesome. That's a good story.
All right. And I'll leave it at that.
Well, I guess it's my turn, and I got no TTMs for the first time in several shows, actually. I've been getting a few back from my tiny card collection. But I will show off a pile of stuff that I got for my fabric fobs, but I sadly can't use it yet because this movie just came out and is still in theaters, and I can't get access to the scenes I need to get screenshots. So I got like 7 different outfits that were used in the movie. The sun is also a star. And as you can see, I just have massive, like, all these outfits. And they're both worn by the main characters, the 2 main characters. One is Yara Shahidi. She's in Blackish. She's the older daughter. And the other one is Charles Melton, who's like a heartthrob guy, I guess now. So all those costumes were worn by them in the movie, but I don't know which one to use for the fobs yet because I like to do screenshots for part of the authentication process, and none of the screenshots that were released in the previews match the clothes because apparently the movie happens in one day. Like the whole storyline is about one day, and these were used in flashbacks, and the flashbacks aren't included in the trailers. So I don't know. I guess I'm gonna have to hold on to it until I get footage of the movie. I'm trying to at this point look at footage that's shot on a camera of the what do you call that?
Pirated?
Bootleg version of the movie, just so I can see what scenes are in the movie, so I know what to chop up. But that's all I got to really show you guys. I thought that was interesting. I buy all this stuff and I can't use hardly any of it. Henry S has stopped buying my clothes, Zane. That's where I get my duds. But yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and move on, guys. We got started a little late, so we'll try to move this thing along. Yeah, we got to start a little late there, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're going to go ahead and skip Collector's Chronicles. We'll do that on the next show, our idea. We're going to move on to our subject for today, which is, what would you do if you were an autograph noob? And how would you start collecting with the knowledge that you have now from collecting for 15, 20, 30 years? So the first subtopic of that we're going to talk about is, what would you collect? And would you collect premium items, or like what a lot of you guys do, collect some of these lower end items that are fun to collect, more like set related stuff? So which way would you guys go with that?
In this day and age, it seems like every forum I'm in is all about the premium item. Guys are selling jersey numbers for authentic jerseys. They frown on the China jerseys. Garrett's in chat. He's gone to the vintage collecting cards, so that's the premium item. The rookie cards are considered premium now if you're getting a card signed. That wasn't always the case. We talked about that last show. Baseballs, if you're going to do baseballs, it's got to be an authentic Major League Baseball, not the China one. So if I'm coming in new, you got to look at, is this a hobby? You're doing this for fun, or are you doing this as an investment? And if you're doing it as an investment, I think you lean towards collecting the premium items with premium players, and go for the Hall of Famers. You can go for the hot ones now if you want to take a chance, but I think the Hall of Famers, get those guys on premium items, and they'll hold their value.
And you can even go I think the smart way to go is meet in the middle. And what you can do is get some of the lesser known historical figures. Perfect example of something that was a dime a dozen back probably 10 years ago, and is over $100 an autograph now. Louis Zamperini, who was in the Olympics and also a World War II vet, or World War One. I think it was two. And had an amazing story that he was alive and had a book written about him and signed great through the mail. He passed away, had a movie made about him, and all those autographs are worth crazy amounts of money now. So I think if you are kind of smart about collecting the smaller stuff, you can collect the smaller stuff that's worth not much at the time, but like 5 years, 10 years down the line, if you look at your collection, you're going to have a massive amount of money there.
Yeah. And if I think if you're going to do something like that, I collect 4x6 photos because I can get them for 10 cents a piece. If you're going to do photos and you think I'm maybe 5 years down the road, I'm going to sell this collection, pony up the money for the 8x10s and get, people like that on 8x10s.
Or index cards to do mats. You can send out more that way. You go either. Yeah, I see what you're saying though. 4x10s are not the smart thing to do if you're looking to flip down the line. And
kind of those same lines, like, you're talking about Louis Zamperini. Think about the NASA guys. You could have got them every day, 24/7, years back, because nobody wanted them. But now, a lot of them charge because their price has skyrocketed. So it's hit or miss. You may take a chance, say, oh, these political guys running for president, I'm going to bank on that, and then nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Who was the guy that yelled, "Woo!"
Howard Dean.
There you go.
Yeah. See, the problem with the political guys is they write like 1 million books after they run, and then there's like 1 million signatures out there. That's usually what happens. What do you guys think, Andy, Chase, anybody?
Okay.
We're talking about what to collect. Would you rather collect premium stuff, or would you collect bulk, like you guys?
Honestly, if I had the option of, because I started back in '91, if I was able to collect more 4x6s, I would have done that more, or 8x10s, really, what I was doing, but more of political, not political, historical people. I mean, I would have stayed away from the sports. I probably had more fun for guys that are known in history for something or not really known for it, or like, you know, who invented this? You know, get a nice something like along that lines, like getting fun stuff, not just getting, oh, I got more cards. It's like you send to the guy that invented the Post-its.
Right.
Like I send a thing of Post-its so many sides, like fun stuff to have, and like talkative pieces. If people come over like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's the guy who invented Post-its. You know, talking issues.
That sounds more like you are a pure collector. You're coming in from the pure collecting standpoint.
Oh yeah, the money aspect of it, even nowadays, drives me freaking crazy. I mean, back when I was doing it, I mean, the prices were moderate. I mean, you're spending $2, $3, $5 for a guy that was in the Hall of Fame. Now, for like any item too, any amount of subscriptions, any item, no problem. Now, I think it's just completely out of whack. And for like a general collector that's just doing it for a collection for fun, you can't get the upper names. So, I mean,
I will say you can get them if you go for garbage items. Like some of those Hall of Famers, like you'd be surprised how low some of those items are if they're garbage items. And even, you know, there's some Hall of Famers that still sign for the, like Sandberg signs for what, $10 or something?
Yeah, even Dawson, he's $10.
Dawson, yeah.
I mean, trying to think of a few of it, like Jim Rice,
Bunning signed
$10
for a while.
Yeah.
Sutton's
$5. Yeah, I understand that, but it's the newer Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah, those
you had to get them in the minors. I mean, that's the only way you. Then once they progressed and it turned into the business to them and everyone else, and they knew where, hey, I'm going to sign 5 pitchers for a kid. I know where 4 of them are going to end up.
Well, I think if you wait on those guys, I think the market always adjusts in the long run. So the guys like Bryce Harper and like Mike Trout, like people paying thousands now. You know, if you're willing to wait, I'm talking years and years and years. These guys always usually come down. Maybe not Trout. Trout's kind of one of those guys, kind of like Brady. It seems like he's kind of inflated and may stay inflated. But for the most part, Hall of Famers always come down when they retire because they have more time to sign. But Chase, you got anything to add on this before we move on to the next subtopic?
No, I mean, I would have, knowing now, I would have maybe sent out more, I guess, more cards because that's more what I collect now than, you know, like pictures or balls or something like you were saying. There's times whenever, you know, somebody might not sign the things they know that it's going to could be turned around and sold.
Right.
But yeah, they'll sign, you know, a card or something that, you know, has little value all day.
Right.
You know, not to go back, because I watched the last show, you guys were talking about like oddball items, I believe. And one popped in my head when I was watching it, and when I say fun items, the guy that invented the Big Mac, I actually got a Big Mac box that was never used and mailed that to him, and he signed it as the inventor.
That's really cool.
I mean, I think he died a few years after that, but I'm just saying it's, you know, I would tell my earlier self, just get fun stuff. Don't worry about the money crap. Just enjoy it.
And you know what? If you did stick to what you just explained, that stuff would be worth money down the line anyway. Yeah. So like, even if you didn't care about money, it would be worth money anyways. Like, so it would work out. Let's move on to the next one, which is sources. I think this one we're all going to agree on. Star Tiger is the best source, but I think knowing how to look up private addresses and do research would come in very handy as a new collector. Although I guess you might get a little frustrated. I mean, like, because the success rate of private addresses are so low. But if you knew what you were getting into, like I said, we're going in as a new collector with the knowledge we have now. Star Tiger proven addresses and private addresses would definitely be the way to go. None of those, I wouldn't be necessarily testing Star Tiger addresses, you know, stuff that's already public, and I would let other people do that because I used to do that back in the day, and that didn't have many fruits of the labor. A very bad success rate. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, Star Tiger obviously is the gold standard. We all use it. It's beautiful because you can see the results right there. There are some lists out there that are like hard printed, the Harvey list, and Jack Smalling's baseball book, which I used back before the internet. Those are great. The only problem is you don't know if they're successful or not.
They don't update.
Right. You're going to have to try those. It's a book. It's printed on paper, not the internet.
The modern version of that is like personal lists. I think people still sell those, right? I don't see them talked about much in Facebook, but I know whenever I was doing TTMs a few years ago, people would sell like their list or whatever.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can talk about back in the day. We both had
sites.
We had sites, address sites. We had members only where people would pay us to get the private addresses because we were. I don't want to brag, but we were that good at getting them.
Right.
But we were getting successes too. So I think that if I knew back in the day before like the internet blew up how to look up private addresses like I do, I'd probably have a lot more success, and I'd love to do that because I could get in there before they really shut that down.
Gary brought up a good point. If you started today with all the knowledge, write to people who are old first, just so you can get them in your collection before they pass away. That's a really good point. But yeah, sources. Chase, Andy.
Definitely Star Tiger. There are some other sites out there that you can find addresses that are free.
But the address is usually on Star Tiger. If you have Star Tiger, you pretty much got it all.
Right, and there's some out there that you can do and that you can pay high dollar for, like you were saying, that are like production addresses.
Right.
But yeah, definitely Star Tiger. I mean, I think all of us were Star Tiger pretty much whenever it started or right around there. So
Star Archive.
Yeah.
Andy?
No, just Star Tiger, really. Unless I'm finding it on my own, but like it's yeah, that's really it.
Well, we'll move on to our next subtopic, which is TTM versus purchasing. So basically, this is about how would you, as a collector starting out, figure out if you wanted to write to the person or just pony up the $5 on eBay for the autograph. Also, you got to weigh risk of a TTM signature being possibly secretarial, but you're obviously worrying about authenticity when you buy too. How would you guys balance that? Let's say we're not dealing with people that sign for free every day, every time. Those people, obviously, you would do TTM. But somebody that, trying to think of an example, but is hit or miss, and hit or miss, like you'll send like 3 or 4 before you get them. Would you waste that money on TTMs when you could just buy maybe one for $15 on eBay?
Let's say Robert England, Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can either send him a TTM with no donation and wait months to get it back. Good chance you're going to get it back, but you're going to wait. Or you can pay the $15 fee and get a signed photo within a few weeks. If I'm a new collector, in this day and age, everything's instant gratification. You always have your phone, you're always online. Collectors today are like, I got to have it now. They're not going to wait. So if I'm old school, I can send it off. I can wait because I have so much out there. I'll wait. But I think today's collector, if I'm coming in the hobby new, I'm hitting, buy it now on eBay for $15 and I have it in a week.
Yeah, I agree. Wait time's a big part of that. I forgot. Yeah, that's a good point. What do you guys think?
See, I'm the opposite. I think sending it out and the thrill of like, oh, what's coming in today? When you purchase something on eBay and 3 days later an envelope shows up, you're like, you're holding it in your hand going, I already know what this is. So if you send it out a bunch of TTMs and you get one, you're like, which guy is this coming back from? I think that's more exciting than
I'm
already knowing ahead of time.
I'm not talking about me personally. I'm talking about like
it's you.
Yeah, I think coming in as a new collector, maybe you don't have that that drive that we've developed over the years for collecting, where it's like, okay, like I really want to collect maybe a set of something, and I want the curiosity of getting something in the mail. Like that's always a great part of TTMing. And if you jump into the game, well, I guess you would have that. I mean, that would be maybe even stronger, maybe as a new collector.
Well, I would think what depends on how old you are. I mean, if you're 45 years old and just starting it up,
Maybe it is age. Maybe
compared to like a 12-year-old.
Instant gratification.
Yeah.
Like the kind of thing. Yeah.
Right.
I think as adults too, when you start getting nothing but bills in the mail and you collect TTMs, you're like, this is like Christmas. I don't know what this is, but I'm going to open it. I'm going to be excited instead of being like, oh crap, I owe this people, X amount of dollars.
And it's Jim Lovell saying, hey, I signed your item. You owe me $15.
Yeah, you kind of get depressed sometimes when there's nothing in the mail. It's like, oh, man.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's that rush, that high of getting in the mail.
But we again, instant gratification. Who signed up for the informed delivery from United States Postal Service? I have. I know what's coming, but that gets me excited because I'm at work and I get at 8 a.m. and I don't get home until 5. I'm like, I know I'm gonna have a couple TTMs.
Well, get giddy.
The main reason I signed up for it was to make sure that I'm getting what I'm supposed to. I know some people who sent out some stuff and it wasn't getting there. So delivery, you can okay, it's showing it's supposed to be here. Make sure that it's delivered. Right. I haven't ever had any issues, but
Do you have to have tracking for that to happen, or is it on every piece of mail?
No, they scan every piece of mail that comes through.
Yeah, like the 8x10s, those don't get scanned. The bigger envelopes or anything padded. But if it's like a regular, PWE, it's a.
I'm gonna have to look into that because that actually may be a good alternative for me. I get a lot of stuff in that's bought. And sometimes I've lost about 25 pieces of mail in the last year.
They'll track packages. And they'll do the scans of the envelopes. But if you're getting a package, say from eBay, it will say, you're expecting a package today, and it will have the tracking number. So it's actually pretty convincient.
Hey, maybe they should be on Tools of the Trade.
Yeah, actually,
we're jumping back between segments here.
Yeah, we may do that down the line. Actually, maybe next show. Let's move on to the next section, which is time. And this is the last subtopic. How much time would you want to spend on this hobby? Knowing what you know now and how time consuming it is, what would you, let's put in a weekly hour limit in there. What kind of hours would you want to work on autograph collecting? Personally.
As a new person, I've been in this long enough. I know how much time it takes. If I'm coming in new, I want somebody like us on this show to be like, this is very time consuming and money consuming. It's an expensive hobby if you do it, like we do. And it takes a lot of time because you're looking up people, you're getting pictures, you're doing envelope prep, you're writing letters, you can streamline it. You can do form letters, you can do address labels, you can cut some of that time down, but you are going to spend some time doing this. And I wish if I'm coming in new, I wish somebody would prepare me for that. And then the wait times too. When you send stuff out, you might not see it for Andy Summers. How long did Dale Murphy take?
Was he 17 years?
There you go. You might not see it for 17 years.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good point because a lot of newbies coming into the hobby do not realize how long it takes to get a TTM. I had some shock by it. I've been out of the hobby for like 5 years, and I sent these cards out, and within a month, I was like, well, this didn't work, right? Remember that? I was like, remember those tiny cards? That didn't work. And then slowly but surely over the next 3 or 4 months, I got maybe 20% back, which is a decent return for like historical figures I was writing to. But I had just forgot how long it takes for these things to come back.
Yeah, just an example for spring training. I sent out 100 envelopes, 100 requests at spring training. And I'm currently setting, I think, 44 return. And I just got one back last week.
Yep.
So they're still coming in. There's some guys who wait till the end of the season to sign. So, you're looking at almost a year later.
Yeah. Some of those guys will let it sit in their locker until the next spring training. And then they'll be like, oh, crap, I got mail. I'll send this out.
Andy, how much time would you put towards collecting if you knew what you knew going in now?
Yeah, I would tell myself, but like, be more organized because you're going to spend so much time on it, and don't do what you're doing now and take all your returns and throw them in a container and try and log in everything all at once. Um, that's what I would teach myself back then. But there is a lot like behind the scenes between getting it out, getting in, even the RTSs. Um, I have a whole bin, and every so often, every 5, 6 months, I'll go through those and spend time and find new addresses just to get them back out because I already had
Right.
the letter done. I already have this what I want out, and the safe's already set. I just have to readdress an envelope.
Yep.
But that's what I would tell myself is just stay on top of it. Don't let it pile it up and try and do everything at once because it was just you're gonna get overwhelmed, especially on how much you send out. I mean,
Right.
if you only send in a couple, but me and my disorder send out way too much all at once.
Yeah. Yeah. It's go ahead, Mike.
One thing you got to be prepared to for time is you can be disappointed big time on a long return. Clayton Kershaw, the Dodgers pitcher, was signing. I think it was like 2.5 years ago, and then the window closed and people just stopped getting returns. Well, now people are getting their stuff back signed like 500-600 days later, and they're all like, "Oh, so disappointing." Well, that's part of the game too, and you have to be prepared for that. You may not see a return ever come back.
Right.
We've all sent stuff that has magically disappeared, either gets lost going there, it gets thrown away, sits in a locker, who knows what happens to it. And then there's stuff that comes back years later and you hope it's signed. I've had envelopes show up and be like, I haven't seen that stamp in years, and
Yep.
open it up and it's signed, but sometimes it's not. So be prepared for that too.
And John Snyder brought up a good point. Routine is everything. So if you're going to do TTMs, most likely if you get okay, I'm going to write the letters, I'm going to address everything at once. Like that's usually a time saver, even if it's a little bit of time. If you do a bunch of it, it all adds up in the long run. So that is a good habit to get into. Everybody got anything else before we wrap up the segment about autograph noobs?
One real quick thing, eBay. If you're coming in new, I would suggest sticking with authenticated autographs like a PSA, Beckett, something like that, instead of trying to buy a raw autograph because there's so many forgeries out there. If you're coming in new, stick with authenticated stuff as much as you can. I know it drives up the price, but until you learn how people sign stuff and the ins and outs of the autograph world, I wouldn't buy a raw autograph off eBay.
And this goes after you become educated. If you do buy autographs from anywhere, make sure they're guaranteed. So like you can return it if there's any problems whatsoever, and make sure that guarantee is for as long as possible, like preferably forever. Like anything I sell can, like if I sold something to somebody 5 years ago, they can return it if they have any authentication issues whatsoever, and I will give them their money back. But that's a trust thing you have with a buyer and a seller. And when it comes to autograph collecting, that always needs to be there. Because the moment somebody says, no, I'm not going to give you your money back, that person probably knew what they were selling was bad. And that's probably why you're not getting a refund. Not that it's been so long. But all right, let's go ahead and move on, guys. We got fanatic feedback. We got one question this week. It's about a specific TTM signer. And that's coming from Money Mike. And Mike says, the case against Eugene Krantz, his TTM signature, has recently changed greatly from his common, somewhat scribbled name to basically printed. TTMers, we have a problem. So we're not going to do a case against on this because I don't think he's going to sign for much longer. Or if he does, it's probably going to stay that weird signature. If it does stay that weird signature, we might throw it in. But we talked a bit about this before the show to kind of get, because we're not going to do an official case against right now.
Yeah,
But go ahead,
I got
guys.
one here of the. This is what used to come back right here, just like that.
Right.
And I don't have any of the newer ones, but it's definitely
Spelled
not
out.
like that. It's spelled out, block letters. Here's another one here.
That's his old signature. That's the legit one. That's
Right.
the one that's in his signed book too. If you buy a signed book that was, hand signed at a signing. So we talked about this a little bit, and obviously some health issues arose. And Mike Mike's hypothesis is that his wife is signing for him to keep up with the fan mail, which is definitely a possibility. There were some inscription similarities. The inscription was the same, which easily he could tell his wife what to sign, or she could just, copy the inscription from the old photos. But there were some differences on handwriting. So it's either secretarial or him just. You would think if he had health issues, it would be a little more choppy.
He is 85 years old.
Yeah. So I tend to lean on Mike's side with having his wife sign or a secretary. But we're not going to solve that here because we're not going to do an official case against. But there's definitely something going on there. Most likely his wife signing.
Yeah, those that I got those back October of 2017, and shortly after that, like December, there was like a few, like maybe a month or two, where he was sending back saying that he no longer will sign, and then all of a sudden these other signatures started coming back. So,
which would also lead you to believe that they're secretarial, because if he's saying he's not going to sign anymore, he probably stuck to that and just had somebody else sign. But so that I hope that answers that question. We're going to move on to our giveaway last show. We had some responses. I wanted to tell you what people responded. We have a response from Money Mike again, and it was, what's the biggest TTM regret, basically, like whenever you didn't write to somebody and they passed away. He said Fats Domino was great TTM, and he had a few LPs he wanted to send off, but he just put it off. This one comes from Brad, and Brad said Chuck Bednarik, which, he was notoriously great TTM, and even signed that photo of him, after he knocked out that the other player.
Frank Gifford.
Yeah, it was Gifford, yeah.
Yeah, because he put the "Sorry Frank" inscription.
Yeah. So, and I notoriously got a response from Bednarik where he said he can't sign the photos, or maybe his index cards, and proceeded to write a full letter on why he couldn't sign, which I was like, sweet. Like, I got a full letter from Chuck Bednarik. I'm happy. And then Jason said for the giveaway, Jim Taylor, being a Hall of Famer, I have a Jim Taylor model football from the 60s. He forgot he had it until after he passed away. So those are some of the entries for our giveaway. And we gave away a D'Angelo Russell signed card, certified auto. And the winner for that card is Money Mike. Congratulations, Money Mike. I know that's not your real name, but that's fine. We'll send it to Money Mike. So that'll be going out to you ASAP. And we have a new giveaway for this week. And I thought I'd do a little cross promotion here with my Fabric Fob store. These are my Fabric Fob keychains that I sell. This is a piece of Beyonce's shirt. And you can win a Fabric Fob. All you have to do is go to our website, autographersanonymous.com. There's a link on the right-hand side. Click the giveaway link, enter the giveaway, and answer this question. What is your favorite music autograph? It's like the easiest question ever. So go over there, click the link, enter, and you can win a Beyonce Fabric Fob. Moving on, guys. It is nomination time for the case against. We try to do a case against every other show now. So we got 6 nominations. We're going to whittle it down to 2, and you guys can vote on which one you want. You can vote in 3 different ways. Twitter, you can vote on Facebook, and you can vote on our website. So whichever one's easiest for you. Here's our nominations, guys. We came up with these before the show. Shaq, Peyton Manning, Muhammad Ali, Henry Winkler, Whoopi, and Robert Redford. So those are our 6 nominations. And right now we're going to whittle it down to 2, and then we're going to have you guys vote on it. So any off the bat that you guys want to knock off the list?
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole is done and in the grave, but not, literally.
Mrs. Dole.
One foot in there. Whoopi, out.
All right. We're not going to Whoopi out again. Poor Whoopi.
She's the new Bob Dole.
Yeah, she'll be an off week.
All right. We're knocking Whoopi off. Yeah, she is turning into the new Bob Dole. Any others you guys want to knock out? Any that are too obvious?
I think the Robert Redford's very obvious.
Yeah, but the reason we put it on there is because nobody's discussed it in a long time. So people may not know. So you think it's too obvious to do? What do you guys think?
Bob Dole.
Chase, you got any input?
I've gotten a few Robert Redfords that
You
they're
weren't told.
questionable. I mean,
You weren't told.
yeah.
See, this is why we're doing this show and putting him in the list.
Now these were years ago, so it was probably back whenever everybody's is coming back, probably authentic. So I'll send it out, and then now they're like, oh well, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can say Muhammad Ali because what we talked about before on the pre-show, maybe throw him in there since he's deceased and not signing anymore.
You want to take him off the list?
Yeah, we can add him with the what we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
Doing that second segment.
Sure. And yeah, that's good. That's a good point. So we got 4 now. Shaq,
Shaquille O'Neal,
Peyton Manning, Henry Winkler, Robert Redford. Shaq is one everybody's been clamoring for. I think it's obvious, but I mean, people are still writing to him. So, what do you guys think?
I think we need one sport and one movie star. So
I'm gonna throw this out there: Henry Winkler and Shaq.
Keeping them, or
I'm good with that.
so you're saying keeping those?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm good with that. So I know Peyton Manning, a lot of his stuff's been coming back. I don't know if Card Cutter's still on there, Garrett, but a lot of his stuff's coming back as authentic. So
Yeah.
Right. But that doesn't mean it is just because
that's true. Look at the Bob Doles that we were showing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You guys are down with that? Shaq and Henry Winkler, Shaq and the Fonz, 2 guys that go by one name.
Sounds good. Shaq and Fonz.
All right, we'll do the Shaq and Fonz. If you guys want to vote on which one we're going to do next show, the poll will be good for 1 week, and that gives us 1 week to prep the show so we can figure out if whoever you pick is authentic TTM or not. Remember, just go to Facebook, Twitter, or our website, autographersanonymous.com, and click the little the case against poll button, and you can vote there on our website, and it's just on our main page on Twitter and Facebook. Shaq and the Fonz.
We're going to jump the shark.
Jump the shark. That's right. A lot of people don't know that's where that came from. That ends the show today. Remember to go ask some questions again on our website. That's where you can find everything, by the way, on our website, autographersanonymous.com. You can actually send us fanatic feedback, and we'll answer your questions on the show. Yes, Henry, you missed the Dole episode. Go back to our last episode and find out the truth about the dirty Bob. So go send us some fanatic feedback on autographersanonymous.com, and we'll do promotions. Mike.
All right, guys, you can find me on www.autographsforacure.com. That has the links to all my social networks. I have been posting a lot more content on YouTube. I have dialed back the Facebook posts just because it's time consuming to post in 8-10 different groups. So if you guys want to see returns during the week, go to YouTube, the Autograph Network, and you guys can check out the returns here if you guys don't want to do that. So,
all right, and Chase,
Chasing Ink on YouTube. That's all I got. So,
all right, Andy,
check out the Autographs for a Cure.
Yep, Andy.
I'm promoting the Bruins winning 4-1 tomorrow to bring the Stanley Cup back to home, which will we have to have another parade because we haven't had one in a few months since the Patriots won. So
wrong sport, son.
No, well, we had the Red Sox one before that, then the Patriots, so Bruins. Yeah, it's just we haven't had a parade for a few weeks, so we need another championship in Boston here. So.
And for me, guys, as you guys know, the Savage Library is now Barking History on eBay. So go check that out. And also Fabric Fobs, which again, we're giving away one of those keychains this week where you can enter our website, but fabricfobs.com and bargainhistory.com is where you can find those. Fabricfobs.com. Fabric Fobs are keychains with pieces of celebrity clothing in them. So all the links for everybody's stuff is down below if you're watching on video. And I don't think we put the links on iTunes, but you can go to our website and find all that stuff. So, all right, guys, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and you take care, all of you autograph addicts.